wild horses that roam the Outer Banks of North Carolina are an incredibly hardy breed. Sometimes known as banker horses, they are descended from Spanish stock brought to the New World by 16th century explorers. And here, among the marsh grasses and maritime forests of these remote barrier islands, they've survived on their own for nearly 500 years. Today, to preserve the breed and to prevent overpopulation of their remaining habitat, the herds are watched over by the National Park Service, the state of North Carolina, and several private organizations. The largest populations are concentrated in 3 areas: on the Currituck Banks north of Corolla, on Ocracoke Island, and Shackelford Banks, an uninhabited barrier island where the horses roam the dunes in relative isolation.
The horses are definitely one of the biggest draws for visitors to Shackelford. The behaviors are absolutely fascinating to watch. They can just be entertained for hours watching them interact and graze, and the young nurse their moms, and so the behaviors are the most wonderful thing. And what you want to avoid doing is getting too close to the horses, because then not only are you causing them to lose valuable grazing time, you're moving them, you're influencing them, and you're not going to see the natural behavior.
This is a group of 4 horses that are within their own harem. This group is one of 20 different groups with a total of about 88 different horses. We study the habitat, how they utilize the area. They'll utilize the entire area throughout the year. There's different vegetation available, and the horses seasonally browse that vegetation as it becomes available.
Life on the island is really tough. In the wintertime, it's cold. It's not so much that the temperatures are low, although they do get low, but that it's wet and cold, which makes it extremely difficult. And in the summertime, it's very, very hot, and sometimes it's hard to find water. But we know that they've been out there long enough to adapt to the island so that they are very well suited to live out there. The storms can be a problem for the horses, especially if there's overwash on the islands, but they have a very good sense of barometric pressure and pressure changes, so that when a storm is coming, they tend to be able to seek higher ground or protected areas. The shrubs and the trees in the maritime forest are very, very thick and provide excellent wind breaks. So mostly they do fine with the hurricanes.
On Ocracoke Island, the horses are confined to fenced-in areas, both to protect them from highway traffic and to safeguard the island from overgrazing.
These horses have it a little easier than the wild horses located in other locations, because they are fed twice a day. They don't have to forage for food or for water. We currently have 21 horses in our herd. We've got about 180 acres. They get vet care twice a year. They get farrier care twice a year, and they get well taken care of.
Because the Outer Banks horses are related to each other, they're good sources of genetic diversity for each other. And we actually do have just born a Shackelford Ocracoke cross, a Shackelford stallion and an Ocracoke mare.
What do you say, Paloma? Huh? And that's her mommy, Spirit. She was born on March 22nd, but it's amazing to see her every day. It's like she's finding something new to explore. She's gonna be curious.
The Shackelford herd has a particularly bright future because they're on an island that's protected by the federal government, the National Park Service. That island will never be developed, so they will be free to roam that island forever. And with minor management, specifically birth control and removal on a limited basis as needed, they won't overpopulate, and I can confidently say that they will be there for all the generations to come.